I've come all the way to South Korea to drive the new Hyundai IONIQ6. What's an IONIQ6? Look over there. It's behind that woman. It might take you a moment to reckon with the exterior styling of the fully electric IONIQ6 sedan, so let's linger. No, we won't get those trick side cameras in the US, but this is essentially what you'll see on American roads when the IONIQ6 arrives in the springtime of 2023 or thereabouts. I'm not here to tell you how to feel about its style, but I will say the IONIQ6 looks more compelling in person than it does in pictures, and it's hard to argue with the body's efficiency-enhancing, super slippery 0.21 drag coefficient. There's a reason why Hyundai calls this a streamliner. Let me quickly say that I am driving this way before it goes on sale, so there is a lot I don't know. You know, things like EPA range, definitive American specifications, a comprehensive rundown of US market features, and how much it costs. With my ignorance cards on the table, I can say there's a ton of mechanical overlap between the IONIQ6 and the already introduced IONIQ 5. Like the 5, the 6 is built on Hyundai's E-GMP platform and offers a 77.4 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack with an 800-volt architecture, allowing for speedy recharge times from 10 to 80% in only 18 minutes, provided you have access to a hardy enough DC quick charger. And like its sibling, the IONIQ6 can be had in rear or dual-motor all-wheel drive renditions. And just to cover my butt, those on-screen power numbers are based on converted kilowatt and newton meter numbers from a Korean press release, cross-referenced with IONIQ 5 numbers. Final American numbers probably won't differ, but you never know. There's also a smaller 53 kilowatt-hour battery pack available exclusively with rear-wheel drive for those willing to trade driving range for a lower entry price, whatever that price winds up being. Speaking of range, using the international WLTP standard, the rear-drive IONIQ6 with the long-range 77.4 kilowatt-hour battery pack is rated to cover 381.5 miles. In America, the EPA's range standards are more demanding, so that number should land closer to 350 miles or so. For perspective, with the same battery motor setup, the less aerodynamic IONIQ 5 is EPA rated to cover 303 miles. All right, with our homework out of the way, let's see how the IONIQ6 drives. Question number one, you're probably asking, does it haul ass? The answer is, let's come to a stop. 3, 2, 1, floored. Yes, my ass has been hauled. According to Hyundai, the long-range all-wheel drive IONIQ6 I'm driving zips from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 5.1 seconds. I suspect an even quicker IONIQ6N will eclipse that figure somewhere down the line, but for now, the IONIQ6 pulls with satisfying haste. I also happen to have a corner here, and this is the first opportunity on our drive I've experienced where I can actually kind of drive quickly. There's a lot of speed cameras in Korea, did you know that? Let's see if I experience some level of fun going through this corner. Yeah, I would say it's not overtly sporty, but it is lively and capable. Little tire squeal there. Are we having fun?
We're having fun.
We're having fun. It might be the environment we're driving in, but really the character that I'm getting from the IONIQ6 is stability. Most of our drive has been on freeways at modest speeds, and I don't have to make any adjustments to the steering. It just tracks true, and it's a delight to drive for long distances. It'd be more delightful if I could drive faster than 80 kilometers an hour, but I'm generally delighted. With any electric car, one area that I scrutinize is regenerative brake function. Specifically, when I come off the accelerator, how smoothly does it come to a stop? Let's see how that goes. Okay, I'm gonna have feet completely off, coming to a stop. Is it smooth? That's really smooth. And now, let's haul ass. Cruising around Korea, I've been really impressed with the ride quality, quite supple. There's a lot of big road bumps here that they use to keep people driving at reasonably slow speeds, and I think the IONIQ6 handles those bumps really well. Very smooth, comfortable. The other thing that really jumps out to me is sound. With no engine, you really get a sense of the road you're driving over. Some roads are quiet, some roads are loud, but tire noise becomes a much bigger part of the sound picture when you're driving the IONIQ6. But in terms of total volume in the interior, it's pretty quiet. I mentioned sound. There's something in here called active sound design, which makes it sound like a spaceship. That's what they said in the presentation yesterday. Let's activate it and see how, oh. Okay, ready? You guys want to sound like a spaceship? Here goes. Oh, a little like a thruster came in there, an extra thruster. We'll just turn that right off. Pew, pew. The cumulative experience motoring the IONIQ 6 is lovely, at least driving at modest Korean speeds. But Hyundai's streamliner has other charms, like vehicle-to-load abilities, meaning that with a 120-volt accessory outlet, you can use your IONIQ 6 to charge an e-bike, operate a compressor to fill a floaty for a day at the pool, or power a PA so you can bombard nearby squirrels with your EV-themed poetry set. Sorry, squirrels. Inside, there's Hyundai's familiar dual 12.3-inch screen setup for gauge, cluster, and infotainment duties. The interface reflects the current state of Hyundai's infotainment design. Which is to say, there's a simple usability to the interface, though I have been a little befuddled by the navigation system in its Korean version, but overall, generally pretty easy to use. Beyond the screens, I like the simplistic elegance of the interior. It's kind of got a beautiful thing going on here with this ribbed door panel thing and these long door pockets. It's got a unique vibe, though I do wish there were more than 2 cup holders up front because I am a stereotypical American and I like double fisting my beverages. Oh, and also as a Bronco owner, I do kind of like the window switches in the middle. Rugged. One more infotainment note, the interface can be updated via over-the-air updates. And in a first for Hyundai, the IONIQ 6 can also exploit over-the-air updates to improve the vehicle itself. If some wacky engineer decides that the IONIQ 6 needs a Baja off-road drive mode, it would find its way into the fleet with an over-the-air update. Note, if Hyundai loses its collective mind and imparts the IONIQ 6 with a Baja mode, I want credit. Back to reality. No surprises, but seating up front, there's plenty of space. But when you come to the back seat here, behind my preferred front seat position, legroom is outrageous. There's so much space between my knees and the seat back. However, you're wondering why can't you see my cool looking hair? It's because of the roofline. It comes down at a bit of an angle, and for a 5'10" dude with a long torso, headroom is just adequate. If you're exceptionally tall, this might be bad for your sweet hair day. I will say though, I do like the fact that we've got this flat floor, so if you're in the middle position, this is a pretty comfortable position to sit in. Overall, there's a lot of space. I just wish it was a little bit more vertical back here, a little bit more headroom. You may leave now. For luggage hauling, the trunk is workably sized, but not huge. However, there is a wide pass-through to accommodate larger gear. Open the hood, and there is a frunk, but it is tiny. Just enough room for a moleskin overflowing with cringe-inducing pros. Wrapping up, I'll add that driving with the side camera setup felt unnatural, so I'm not too bothered that they aren't coming to the US. The updated highway driving assist feature did an excellent job keeping the IONIQ 6 stably in its lane, though it doesn't yet offer hands-free abilities. And the more I examined the 6's stylistic quirks inside and out, the more I liked it. The partially translucent door storage plastic, matching translucent shark fin antenna, and omnipresent pixel theme successfully charmed me. Based on first impressions, the 2023 Hyundai IONIQ 6 is an intriguing electric conveyance, but the current picture is incomplete. I need to know more about its features, range, and price to understand how it fits into the American EV marketplace. For as odd as it looks, the Hyundai IONIQ 6 is efficient, livable, fairly quick. I think it's a compelling vehicle, depending on how they price it. Price it correctly, Hyundai. This could be an interesting choice. If you like an EV, this is a very long outro. I've kind of screwed it up, but I'm just going to lean into it. This is how we do things. IONIQ 6. IONIQ 6. You thought I was done. I was not done.